We are here.
Aidan, finally.
At last. After quite the commute, no?
Yeah, bit of
a commute, to say the least.
I mean, what, it's supposed to take us both 35, 40 minutes?
Well, me, it was meant to take, an hour and a bit.
Yeah.
Must have taken 3 hours. But we're here.
We're here, finally. Driving all around Canary Wharf.
Looking for me.
Looking for you.
Looking for me and my goose.
I went round the same roundabout, what, 4 times? 4 times?
Yeah, but you found me.
Finally.
You did find me.
Oh, but we're finally here. So why are we here? What is this?
That's the question. Why are we here? I think we're here just to relate to people. Okay. You know, relate to people, similar demographic in terms of our age, maybe aspiring to go to uni, just graduated, maybe didn't go to uni.
Yeah, exactly.
Get an insight into our lives, into people that hopefully will be getting on as well, their lives, and go from there.
100%. Nice. There's a lot of pressure put on people our age, especially in this day and age. So many different avenues, expected to make big decisions at such a young age.
Exactly.
So yeah, like we're just gonna, relax, tell people about us,
ease our way into adulthood.
Exactly, and try and help other people as well. Really.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'd say we're doing all right because the guy who actually owns this studio. Do you remember what he said when he was our age? He was just looking for the next party.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas we're trying to do something. We're trying to do something.
100%. We're both. So yeah, I mean, guys, this is the official welcome to the TunedIn Podcast.
Tuned in.
Hosted by Mr. Aidan.
Mr. Aidan Uttley.
Mr. Aidan Uttley. And
Mr. Kaiyan.
Mr. Kaiyan Ali. So that's us, and we're ready to get cracking. Welcome to episode 1.
So, how did you get here?
I want
to hear the story.
Okay.
No, not the short-term story. I'm talking about how did you get here? How did we cross paths?
How did we cross paths? So we must have, our joint stories, that is, must have started about 3 years ago, really, now.
Just completely different avenues.
100%, yeah, so...
Somehow crossed over.
Yeah, so we both...
made your life.
You know how it is. We didn't actually meet each other 3 years ago.
But it took a while.
Yeah,
to be fair, most of us boys now, which you'll hear a lot about,
definitely.
I'd say the extended group probably came together properly between the end of second year, beginning of first year, third year even.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was quite hard, obviously, with everything that was going on.
Yeah,
in the
lockdown.
world. Yeah, I had obviously us two had all 3 of our university years affected by the lockdowns in some way or another.
That's crazy. That
is mad.
Like first year had half a year.
Yeah.
Second year, exactly. No year.
And do you know what's even crazier for the people watching? It started in the town that we studied in.
Yeah, I literally remember. I remember, what was it, when it was happening. Yeah. Oh no, before lockdown. The first case to come, it was at the hotel by my ex's house.
Oh yeah.
And I remember hearing about it on the news. We literally stepped out of the house and looked to the right and we could see the hotel.
Crazy.
We were like, that's crazy. And they were graduates actually, weren't they?
They were coming for their graduation, yeah. But that was also crazy. My parents came up and saw me the week before.
Really?
Like, it started getting a bit, and my mum's, as most mums do, quite paranoid. And she was like, come on guys, time to come home with us. I'm like, there's no way I'm leaving.
See, I was the opposite.
Really?
Oh, well, no, to be fair, my parents were very relaxed.
Yeah.
But obviously, because I had a girlfriend and she was a year above.
Yeah.
She had a house.
Nice.
So I didn't go home at all for lockdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, for first year, I went home when most people did. But... We'll get to that. We'll get to that in more detail in another thing. So, yeah. So, I mean, how we actually got here then? Obviously, long story short, we both studied at the University of York together. Yeah.
Did you intend on coming to York, or was it?
No,
I
didn't even know about. I didn't really even consider York until.
Really? Well, that's similar to me. Where were you intending on going?
Nottingham was my first and my second choice. Yeah, so Nottingham was my first and my second choice. I was set on it.
Slight camera fault.
So, we'll carry on going. That's right.
Yeah.
It was my first and second choice. Main reason, to be honest with you, most of my friends were going there.
Yeah, it seems like a sociable spot.
That's what it was.
As David would say.
That's.
You know what I mean?
That is what it was sold as. It was the place to be. But. Unfortunately, I think fortunately, in hindsight, at the time it felt unfortunate that I missed my grades. But actually, I got them remarked and I would have actually got in. But there was no space. Anyway, so I ended up going through something called clearing, which in England, for people that don't know, that's
all you internationals out there that are watching.
Yeah, or people that just don't know much about uni or they're looking at uni. if you don't get your grades, there's something called clearing, and it's kind of like the uni's saying, please come to us. We've got a few spaces left. We've reduced your offer slightly. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I ended up studying economics at the University of York. Still Russell Group University. Still really happy.
Exactly. That's.
Well, how about yourself? Were you planning to go to York or?
So mine was similar but different. So I was actually planning on doing product design at Bournemouth.
Interesting.
Because I went for an open day, and they sold it well.
Yeah.
They sold it well. So I was very intent on going there.
Nice.
But then, see, like my whole family is very in education.
Okay.
So results day came. I'd done better than expected.
Well done.
So then my dad was like, realistically, you can go to Bournemouth, good uni, you'll have a good time, or you could maybe try and go to a Russell Group, something like that.
Yeah.
Found York. Found the course I wanted to do, which was marketing.
Cool.
Hence why I market myself so well.
You got a red jumper on, so the girls know you're a walking red flag. Huh?
Demon time, 24/7.
Oh, serious.
But yeah, literally, then came here. But I'm not sure about the experience at first because, as I said, I came to adjustment. So I ended up having a shared room.
Okay, interesting.
Oh my God. This accommodation, it was the definition of stinky. Like, when I tell you it was bad, obviously, excuse my future wife out there, but I remember I had a girl back one time and we were just chilling in the room and it went quiet and a rat ran across the ceiling and she was looking at me like, what? And I was like, oh, please, just allow it.
Yeah.
Chuck some music on and it's all cool. But oh my God, I'd be washing my hands in silverfish, you know, little bugs from Minecraft.
Mate.
That shit be coming out. That would be coming out the sinks.
I didn't know they were real. I thought they were just a Minecraft thing until we went to uni.
Now they're real.
Because my college, they were like, no, some of the blocks.
What were you in?
James, most expensive one in, like, no, it wasn't worth it, by the way. I only went because that's all that was left as well.
Yeah.
No way. It was only expensive because you get the catered food for you.
Yeah, we had catered as well.
That shit.
I'm telling you now, if you go to uni, get catered first year.
Really?
Mate, you're crazy. Literally, it was such a good life. Wake up, no matter what time you got in.
Yeah.
If you had to get to maybe a 9 a.m. lecture, seminar.
Yeah.
Wake up at 8, get your breakfast straight away, have a fry up. And it was decent fry up.
I mean,
Decent fry up.
I was blessed with the Turkish mum. So
hey, I've got an Irish mum.
No, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying when I came to uni and I had some of the dinners there. I think I still spent about 30 or 40 quid a week on food shopping.
Yeah. So,
and like you're supposed to be paying to be fed.
I got fed, and I got kind of cozy with some of the dinner ladies as well.
Oh, okay, of course you did. Any of their numbers?
I wish.
Following Instagram.
It was one of those ones. Do you want another sausage, please? It was literally I looked into her eyes, sausage for sausage, and she was like, oh, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, nah.
But yeah, crazy experience, but very. When I tell you it was a bit peak, I remember getting there and I had a swearing fit with my parents.
Okay.
So I saw my accommodation, and that was before I knew I had a shared room.
Yeah,
before I got into the room, this was from an external perspective of the building. Like I'm sweating, I'm like fucking, probably nearly crying.
I think I would have actually been crying.
I'm seeing the other building on the other side with scaffolding on the outside. Like people couldn't see out their windows; they could see poles, like they were in some Harry Potter movie. But we made it. We fully made it out of the trenches.
100%. Did you enjoy it though?
Yeah. Well, I was lucky. I was very lucky.
Yeah, you made some good. You end up living with the same people
the whole way,
throughout, didn't you?
Because you think most people go to uni, they're in their flats.
Yeah.
They'll have maybe 1-2 people.
Okay.
And because ours was a whole floor rather than a flat that all went to the same common room.
Yeah.
I reckon there was 15 of us that were all really, really like people that I'd meet up with now outside of uni.
Yeah. No, because you know what? It sounded like your living situation probably wasn't the best, but your social aspect was probably a lot better. Because mine was the opposite. Because like I had a single bed, like a nice room, but I had an ensuite. I mean, when you say ensuite, let me tell you, I could sit on the toilet and wash my hair at the same time because it was a wet room. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. It flooded when I had a normal shower. Just
see, mine was kind of ensuite because as soon as I opened my door, there was a toilet. So it was like ensuite, but
you just had a random bloke sitting in there sometimes.
Guess like that. You just got to get through it.
Yeah. So like, but ours was not sociable whatsoever. Like, you know, you obviously. So out of the whole block, we had 3 floors, 6 flats.
Were you in the kind of courtyard area?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that looked like such a good spot, but I didn't socialise with them at all.
Well, I didn't socialise with them.
Yeah, you were literally next to us. We didn't shout you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't know even anyone. I knew 2 people in the whole flat, and I live with them again throughout You know, the girls I live with. Yeah.
Yeah, the
so
girls.
I'm still friends with them to this day.
That's calm as well, though.
No, it was nice.
You did get blessed, because you hear of some people, like, obviously, peak on Teddy's flatmates, but like, Teddy was in a position where it was a bit long. Like, there were a couple calm girls, but it was just a bit long for him. Yeah. And you did feel for him, just because you see other people's perspectives and they're 100%. Having a sick first year.
100%, yeah.
But at least he got a proper first year.
I was going to say, and he, like, obviously, exactly, he could go out and meet friends in other ways, because really uni, like, a big tip for anyone going to university, just go to all the open days, what are they called, where they were promoting the societies and stuff.
Oh, like Freshers' Fair.
That's it. Go to the Freshers' Fairs. Find out every society and club at your uni. Just try 3 or 4 of them, because like you never know what you might get into. Genuinely, like there was at uni, well, most unis anyway. There's something for everyone. Like that's what I say to young people that are looking at uni now.
No, for real.
Honestly, like for example, obviously I joined all the societies I joined. Like I studied economics. I was into trading. Joined an investment society. We traded real money. Boxing was the best thing I picked up at uni.
Yeah, we'll get onto that.
Yeah, definitely.
That highlight of uni.
No, we'll definitely get to that. But
crazy.
Like, I made so many good friends that I wouldn't have met otherwise, and I wouldn't have probably actually chilled with outside of them societies had I not met them. And like, they're good friends that I message to this day all the time. They're like really, really good friends. And even, did you ever walk past James after hours? James College.
What, late at night?
Yeah, after club nights. Did you see the big glass building when it had the gaming society going on? Nah, bro, I would walk past 2 a.m. These like got an esports rig set up, and like I'm not really into all of that stuff, but if you are into that, mate, it was so cool. Like people would have their monitors set up, they'd have their fat PCs they would bring with them, and they'll just be banging games all night. And like, if you're someone who's not as club social, but you're very into your games.
I'm very club social. Like, you know me, I go out as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd happily do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's literally
just get some food in.
Something for everyone. Like, there's non-drinkers. Definitely not for you, but there's a non-drinkers societies. Hey. There was a beer society, wasn't there?
Lager Salt. We were in the Lager Salt. That was made by 4PE. Obviously, stay tuned for 4PE.
Yeah, for
4PE is a big part of this podcast, I'd say.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, 4PE is, you'll find out some.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So do you know what? Actually, kind of going back to what we were talking about. So going through clearing and going through adjustment, which you went through, you get the last pick of accommodation. Hence why you got the shared one. My story was I actually got offered a shared accommodation as well. Have I told you this before?
No, you haven't.
So Derwent College, which is probably known as the
Derwent is exactly the same as my block. It's literally it's known to be like a prison block.
It's not the nicest place in the world, let's just say that. I was going to be sharing a room with someone there. And I threw up a fit, but I threw up a fit before I got there. And I said, I'm not coming to uni, basically. Well, I didn't say that. Luckily I managed to sort something out, and I got on a waiting list, and someone dropped out for whatever reason, and I managed to nab up their accommodation. So I went from sharing a bedroom with someone and probably a toilet and a shower with about 10 other people to having my own bed and my own shower.
That's why my mum made it so strategic when we got there. Okay. We literally stayed at a hotel the night before, so I got one last bit of enjoyment in life.
Yeah, your own bed.
Made sure we got the first slot so I could get there, choose everything that I wanted, get my own bed, choose which desk I wanted, which side of the room, everything. Because realistically, if I'm going to get given shit, I'm going to at least get nice shit.
What was your actual roommate like?
So, Andrew, if you're watching this, I have high respect for Andrew because he did put up with me. So Andrew was computer science, very similar to my brother in terms of likes getting on with computer stuff, obviously. Yeah. But a lot more introvert than I am because I'm very extrovert.
Yeah,
I'm very
extreme. Sometimes too much actually.
I'm very outgoing. So we both messaged slightly before we were talking, and it was one of those ones. We were in a position we had to get on with it. It was cool every night. We had some very deep conversations, which is good in terms of building our relationships. But then one night, I think it was the last Saturday, so the second week of freshers. Boy, I had like a litre of vodka. Okay. But it was with Vimto, so you can't taste it. Oh god. Like that stuff, so nice but deadly.
I don't think I tried that too. Well, for sure.
That shit crazy, man.
I'm not really a uni student life anymore. Like, obviously I'm drinking, but not Vimto and vodka.
Nah, but literally, I had that, and there's a video where I'm literally possessed almost. I'm lying in my bed, just so unbelievably hammered. But then I ended up throwing up all over my bedroom, like all over my bed.
The shared bedroom.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
poor Andrew.
I don't really throw up that regularly unless I'm very, very destroyed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was destroyed. It was the first. I think it was the first salvos, maybe.
Okay.
So big night. And yeah, threw up everywhere. And then, because apparently it smelt so much, he didn't come in the room to pick up his duvet and stuff. So he had to sleep on the floor of one of the other boys' bedrooms. So on the cold hard floor with no duvet.
Oh, guy.
So I think that was the final straw.
Yeah.
Because then a couple of days later I got a message. Well, not a message. He told me. He was like, Aidan, I found somewhere here. And I was like,
what a shame.
What a shame. But it worked out because my room literally became the pre's room.
Good.
Because you could move the two beds to make a kind of right angle. Everyone would be there playing FIFA.
That's pretty cool.
Drinking up.
That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. It played out nicely, but
yeah,
I wouldn't relive that first day.
The first day?
Yeah.
The rest of the year?
Just
what we
just the first day moving in of how deep I felt that to be.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because even going to uni, no matter how good of a living situation you have, it's hard.
It is hard. It's literally, it goes back to the old saying, it's about what you make of it.
Yeah, no, but like, for both of us, we got plopped into an area 200 miles away from home. Because we're both from like the surrounding areas of London.
That was an aim for me though.
No, yeah, it's same, but still, you know, for people, I would also recommend, if you're planning to go to uni, even if you don't feel 100% comfortable, try and go away because, mate, the experience of, it's not even about going out.
It's because you're going somewhere. It's like you've been put on a desert island.
Yeah.
And everyone, well, you probably don't dream of being put on a desert island on your own, but the adventure of it, you're getting put somewhere, you know no one, you know no surroundings around you. You just get on with it and you force yourself to socialise. And fair enough, there are going to be some people that don't enjoy it because they don't have it in them to socialise. You don't know the reasons. But if you're someone who is willing to just go and chat to random people, you will find it so impressively crazy. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, 100%. No, it does.
Especially because for a lot of my mates anyway that came to visit over the years, a lot of them had never been up north before.
Exactly.
So then they came up and they were like, what the hell's this? I remember one of my mates was like, literally, if I'd known about this before I started uni, I'd have come up north. And because I'd FaceTime them with all these countless stories, like as I've told you, so many of these stories are just ridiculous. They're just shocked and they just wouldn't have expected it because you think York, you think, there's quite a few pubs.
Yeah.
You don't think,
There's enough pubs to go to at least one every single day of the year, which is, that's a crazy.
But as much as that's the case, you wouldn't think it would be a fun place to go out every single night. We'd always end up at the Palace. You'll find out about the Palace too, especially third year. But yeah, it was a movie.
No, 100%. No, actually,
it was a
movie. Really and truly, like you said, everyone gets out what they put in. So obviously studying's a massive part of it, of course. But at the same time, most people probably got a lot more out of the going out, the socialising, the taking part in societies. I got more out of going to do all my societies, like actually like life skills wise, than I did out of everything. I don't know if I don't actually know. Did you do many societies? Because I really got stuck in, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I did football first year,
but
I didn't play. I literally went for the social side of things, and I started playing second and third year.
Yeah.
Other than that, I tried out for the swimming, but then lockdown hit, and I was just like, no.
You were quite a good swimmer back in the day, weren't you?
Yeah, back in the day, but it's a weird one as well. You don't lose swimming. You don't lose a skill. Like you'll be able to swim the same speed. Yeah. But you lose the stamina.
Mate, when we went to the pool, David Lloyd's in York. Yeah. We brought a few of you down, didn't we? And that was, mate. I'm like quite an athletic person. I go to the gym quite often. But this guy in the water, honestly, it was majestic.
It made me laugh though, only because we're so used to seeing like a lot of the boys going to play rugby, playing football, where they've played it their whole life. That's their sport which they excel at. Yeah. And then there's never a swimming pool in the middle of the field.
You can't really show off your swimming skills.
Exactly. So I finally got to show off, and everyone was like, "Oh, okay,
yeah,
all right."
Yeah, I mean, you look more at home in water than you do.
I love the water.
When you're bopping about.
It's sad though. It really affects me every time I walk past a pool. This may sound cheesy or unbelievable. Yeah. If I walk past a pool now, it's almost like I get flashbacks. I'm just reminisce so hard, only because those that have swum, you know how many hours you put into it. You're swimming at least 12 hours a week. Heavy. Some days before school, then after school as well. Yeah. Hours and hours, and then I'm going into school, and there's people who have had football training the night before, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm so tired from football." I'm like, "Are you crazy? Are you literally crazy?"
Yeah.
There's levels to there's levels to fitness.
It's funny you say that because I've noticed that rowers and swimmers they train
a lot,
crazy hours, and like most sports obviously train in crazy hours, but they train when they're professionals or semi-professionals or getting ready for a big competition. Like if you're a boxer or you're getting ready for some sort of athletics,
you'll put it in for a certain period.
Exactly, yeah. Like you'll train obviously maybe 4, 5, 6 times a week, but then the swimmers and rowers they're training 2 times a day.
Well, this is the thing. You're training at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah.
From the age of maybe, I'm just trying to think, around the age of like 12. From the age of like 12, you're swimming at least like 5 times. When you're like 10 and below, you're still training like twice or so, which you're putting everything in. You're using every single muscle, and like I'll give it to our coaches, fair play. Now I understand why you pushed us so hard. Yeah. At the time, we were thinking, this prick, why are you making me do this? This is
12, 13.
Exactly. Right. But then you do understand it because it's just crazy. Yeah. It's just crazy. And then you see you see these big gym buddies that think, because they're bigger, they're gonna have the power to do stuff like butterfly. They can't do it. So
yeah, I went to Greece with my girlfriend like a month ago.
Yeah.
And we went on this.
You're sounding a bit nervous right now.
No,
what's this leading up to?
It's embarrassing. We went on this boat trip, this big pirate boat thing where we went to like this beach. We went to this beach right that you couldn't go to with a car or by walking. You had to get a boat there. Yeah. And then either get a small boat from the big boat to the island or swim there. Right. And they were like, "For you guys that want to swim there, like swim there." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool." I looked there, it's like, obviously, like I said, I train a decent amount. Like, I would say.
How far was it? Like, pretend, like, if you know how far a 100-meter run is.
Yeah. No, it was probably a couple 100 meters. Like, it wasn't like crazy far. Yeah. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it wasn't crazy.
No, a couple 100 meters isn't.
It was ocean water.
That's literally like the first thing we do when we used to get in the pool.
Yeah.
Obviously, ocean water is different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But so the thing why I say this, right, is me and my girlfriend met. We bumped into like another English couple. Yeah. So we obviously got chatting, and then we were both jumped off at the same time. And then 3 get there, and about 10 minutes later, I stroll up. She tells me when we pull up, she goes, "The guy just come up to me and is your fella still alive?" And she could see me just blopping about in the water. And I'm not gonna lie.
You see a rogue Kaiyan.
There was a point where I was like, I'm fucked. I'm tired. I'm gonna pretend that I'm just looking around. I've just got my back and I'm gasping for air.
You're playing it cool.
But obviously, to be fair, I did get in a nice scenery, but I played it cool. No one believed me, but. That's kind of. Don't get me wrong. I've always had respect for a lot of sports because, like I said, I've played them all my life, so you know what it takes to be good at something. But water sports, like you said, you're using every single fibre in your body, basically.
You know what's crazy though? Like, as much as I'm swimming, I'm so confident swimming. When I get in the ocean, I deep it. I don't know what the phobia is exactly, but you know when you look down and you don't know what's below.
Well, you don't know what the phobia is. Huh? We know more about we know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own ocean.
Yeah, I know. What, we've only explored like 5%, is it? Surely it's gone up now.
I don't know the exact percentage, but I know
crazy.
There's probably some
I saw
creatures under
obviously
there.
You can't always vouch for Instagram, but I saw some posts and it was like, oh yeah, there's some creatures down at the bottom that are like 10 times the size of a blue whale.
You actually don't know, like, because there's some creatures that have lived for centuries.
Like the Loch Ness Monster.
No,
there was another spotting recently actually.
There was.
Oh,
listen, don't get me wrong. I believe in my fair share of conspiracy theories, but
you don't believe in Loki. You don't believe in.
I don't know if I'll be honest with you. I haven't looked enough into it.
Okay then.
I haven't looked enough into it. But why else would you go to Loch Ness?
To see the Loch Ness Monster.
You studied marketing.
Yeah.
Some geezer made it up to sell some ice creams.
Nah. There's been multiple cameras because obviously the people around there leave their cameras out just in case Loki comes bopping about.
Yeah.
They found him again recently. They saw some kind of. It was kind of like a boulder in the water with like a long tube.
Oh, really?
It's kind of.
About. Okay, maybe we'll do some research and then we'll have a little. We'll come back.
Yeah, next podcast.
What?
The Loch Ness Monster.
Don't know about that, but we'll definitely have a little deep dive into some conspiracies. But
yeah, I think that'd be a good thing to touch actually.
Yeah.
Conspiracies would be an interesting one.
Yeah, 100%.
In terms of, actually, it's not really related to conspiracies.
Go for it.
But obviously on my long commute to work, bearing in mind I walk like 5 miles every day to and from work, sometimes 8 miles.
Get them long legs going.
Exactly. Although that's the case, I've started listening to podcasts more.
Yeah.
And a lot of them have been like true crime podcasts.
Okay, interesting.
It's not to do with Lockie, but this is different avenue.
These are real about real things.
Yeah. And it's just been the murders. The murders are crazy, and the people that are describing them, because they're reading proper articles and proper information, and the depth they go into, it's fucking me up. It's fucking
Really?
like I'm getting into work and I'm kind of shaking,
Really?
about to sign in. You know when you do the temperature at work and shit, I'm literally shaking like this. I'm like, oh shit, is Ted Bundy behind me?
I've seen them things where you see them posts on Instagram and stuff where it's like a girl just told me what she likes to do when she's winding down, and is listening to murder documentaries and true crime stuff, and I'm like, mate, have you watched like the bait documentaries like Don't Fuck with Cats and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think I started that. It's kind
of it's a bit like
there's a new one. What's it called? It came out recently. I think it's about a homosexual guy who kills other homosexuals.
Yeah.
I only watched the first episode, but I have a feeling they might have showed him getting arrested in the first episode.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, scary.
It is, because the thing is that, like, obviously you don't know what these kind of people look like.
They could literally be anyone.
Yeah, it could be you right now, and you could be acting really, really dumb.
Nah, that's like, I'd say I don't really get scared very often.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm hard as nails.
Of course.
But the kind of, when you hear about proper murders and the gruesome, like the Moors murders, when you hear it in depth, do you know about the Moors murders?
Yeah, I think, is that in Manchester?
Ian and what's her name? Ian.
Probably Linda.
I've forgotten. Nah. What was it? It begins with the M, I think. Yeah. And it goes into the depth of their killings and stuff. And these are all children. These are from like the age of like 10 to 17 or something crazy. And it just talks about what happens and what have you. And like at one point, at the end, the reason he got arrested was because he tried asking a family friend if he wanted to get involved in a murder of a homosexual guy. Actually, they then killed him, and then afterwards he was like, "What the fuck? This is so tapped," and just ran to the police. And then they found out about all of them. But did you see? He didn't even tell the location of the last person, or not the last person, but one of the people they buried. So there's still someone out in the moors right now.
So sad. No, I don't really. I listen to quite a lot of podcasts, but I listen to a bit more light-hearted stuff.
Huh? Yeah, like educational crypto.
Yeah. To be fair, it's bear market at the moment. Things aren't looking too good. Yeah, quite like I've actually been really getting in. Like I'm quite into like business and entrepreneurship and whatnot, and I've been listening quite a lot to Steve Bartlett's Diary of a CEO.
Right.
I've started that from the beginning.
I remember you mentioned this.
Yeah, it's really good actually. Like it's basically this guy. His first episode.
You can hear that. Sorry.
Oh
damn! I nearly died.
Yeah. So all that kind of stuff is a bit more light-hearted and inspirational, but
no, I like it. I do like the idea of things giving me shivers.
Yeah, I mean
something that really makes you crawl inside.
Yeah, not me personally.
Yeah, I don't know. Realistically, as that famous Instagram post says, it takes a picture of the world and it says, "This is the world with you." Takes a picture of the world again. This is the world without you. So at the end of the day, whatever happens, we'll be blessed, and we're all pointless. Respectfully, respectfully. I mean, we're just matter.
Let me ask you something. This is not where I thought we'd be going, to be honest, in the first episode.
Yeah, this is.
Let me just ask you this: do aliens exist? Yes or no?
Boy, that question. Do aliens exist? Define aliens. Do you mean something from pool or something like bacteria?
Any living organism.
Because realistically, bacteria, you could have a little bit of bacteria which you find in space, which could wipe out the whole planet.
Okay, well, yeah, something that's like.
You mean something
sentient
that you can actually communicate to?
Not necessarily, like it's sentient, like it
that comes in a ship.
Basically, I don't know how it's not going to be a subway here, is it? Probably be easier than how we got here, to be honest. Like something that.
I'd say yes, only because we're so small. We're such a small planet in such a huge universe. Yeah. Once again, going back to Instagram, I see a lot of these Instagram posts. There was one where it was like, in the time you've read this post, the Earth's moved like 600,000 kilometers or something, because you know how the Earth's expanding. Yeah. Not sure if you know that.
No, I don't really.
So I think there is. Yeah. And I think in our lifetime, if we manage to come across aliens, as the Egyptians supposedly did, that'd be crazy, and I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah.
I think I'd be like, this is crazy, we're the ones to experience it, but I wouldn't be like, oh my god, how's this happened?
Me personally, I think there's no way that aliens don't exist.
Yeah.
Like I didn't say that very well, but like, and even like building the pyramids. I'm not going into the conspiracy thing too tough, but
the pyramids. Like, I literally got asked this yesterday in bed.
I'm just not being funny. The technology that even modern day technology would struggle to build them in the way they have been.
What, like how they line up?
Well, they line Ryan's
up,
belt.
Ryan's belt. They also it's all to the same power as well. So all the calculations are to the exact same power. So one of them works out the way in which the Earth spins on its axis.
Okay, crazy.
The pyramids, I think it's length or something. I can't remember.
Is this all true, by the way?
Yeah, like this has been proven.
Yeah.
The pyramids, I think it's something to do with their lengths or something.
Mm-hmm.
That measures up exactly to the speed of light, and this is to like 0.5 millimeter. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I don't think aliens helped with the pyramids.
Well, you think that's a coincidence?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it was fine architecture. There was
great architect.
After the amount of research and history that they've gone through. Apparently, you know how it's always perceived that it was slaves that built the pyramids and all that? Supposedly this is. Mm-hmm. Don't hate me if it comes out this is a complete coswallop. But apparently people would devote their whole lives to kind of contribute to this art form. So you know how who are they, like Tutankhamun, what are they? Pharaohs?
Pharaohs, yeah.
So the pharaohs, you know how they'd go to the afterlife?
Yeah.
By devoting their life to helping to build the pyramids and just put their life into making it so perfect, they'd then be able to cross over too. So I think there's a lot to it. I don't think they were aliens, but then you see stuff like drawings on the walls, where it's like someone pointing to the sky and there's a disc, and you're like, what's that?
That's what I mean. There's all these little. You know I think this will be quite interesting if we go away and actually do a bit of our own research.
Yeah, we have to touch Egypt.
I would definitely touch Egypt.
I would touch Egypt.
I was talking to a friend at uni actually.
What about touching Egypt?
Yeah, to be fair, because she's from Egypt, and I was like, I actually want to come and I want to see like Alexandria, Cairo, all the biggest cities. Because I want to, like, I'm fairly well travelled. I wouldn't say crazy well travelled, but I definitely want to. In my life, that's a big thing for me, like seeing as much of the world as possible.
Yeah, I personally, I'm not someone who would want to go travelling though.
No. I mean,
I'm someone who wants to. I want to live all over the world, so I want to live in like America for a bit. I want to live in Dubai for a bit.
Yeah.
I want to live in maybe Germany as well, business aspects. Live in these places. I don't want to go travelling with a fucking backpack for fucking a couple months. I'm just not on that personally.
Yeah.
I'd much rather go to a luxury hotel, be pampered, be treated nicely, and then be able to then go to different places at different times.
Because the thing is, the thing is for me is, as interesting as the travelling backpack lifestyle is, for me, I struggle to sit still after a week on holiday.
Really?
Yes.
Or do you just want to get home, or
not necessarily get home. I want to be doing stuff.
I guess that's what travelling is, though. You are constantly doing stuff, I think like working and what have you.
Maybe in the stage I'm at now, like the age I'm at, the things I'm trying to do with my life, it's like
it's not the right way right now.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't not be productive for a certain amount of time. Like, because I'm working on quite a few different projects at the moment.
Yeah.
We won't touch on too much today, but just like I'm working on quite a few things that are going to contribute to my wider vision in life. And by me disappearing for 4 months with a backpack on, I don't think I can enjoy it, because in my head I'm like, I've got too much stuff to achieve, too many things to work towards, and this isn't contributing towards that.
The only argument to both of our points right now is, I've said, I wouldn't want to go with a backpack and what have you. Every single time nearly now, people have said, no, you don't get a backpack. You get nice hotels, you get nice hostels, and you still travel. But I understand it if, as you are now, you're in the position where you can work from anywhere, you can work from home. Fair enough, if you're still working and grinding. But I just think you're kind of sabotaging yourself, economically speaking anyway.
I agree.
By taking away, especially at this point now, taking away that much time from your life. I feel that's something you do when you retire.
Yeah, so
for me anyway.
But yeah, I was going to say, I feel like, because we've got a lot of friends or people that we know who either went travelling before coming to uni or after. So like this will actually bring it back to people our age. I think that for a lot of people, travelling after uni or before uni is actually very beneficial to them. Yeah. It's just, for me personally, it's not the right decision because of what I just said. I'm actually actively working on some projects. Yeah, it's like as simple as that. But like, for example,
getting on with it.
Like I know people that their plan has always been to go travelling. They've dreamed of it since the age of 16, and they think that the way that they want to live their life is they want to get travelling out of their system, then come back, work the way they work their way up and then do the kind of retire, like slowly traveling around the world. Me personally, the things I'm trying to do with my life, I will happily not leave this country for a while, so I can grind and focus on my grind. So then I can do that.
What says the man that just came back from Greece?
Yeah, but that was after my relaxation session.
No, I do understand that.
Which is like because I had the whole of June and a bit of July off. Actually,
I didn't.
The whole of June.
June.
Did.
Oh,
yeah, because obviously we both went to the same uni.
This is huge.
This is actually massive,
this right here is, I'd potentially say, period wise, I'd probably say I'd definitely say it was the best part of uni.
That's got to be. So
you explain. I need to drink some water.
Yeah, you drink some water. You get some. Yeah, I'd say get some fresh air, but don't leave. Yeah, can't really do this by myself.
Leave me.
But for some context, we had our final year exams. We both did quite well. We both did what we needed to do.
Yeah.
Just as a little side note, so
we
congratulations again.
We tick the boxes.
Definitely, 100%. But
bearing in mind what we'd been doing before, like the amount of partying and what have you.
Yeah, exactly. So my course was the last course other than medics to finish.
I was the first.
So you were the first, right? So when did you finish? Do you remember the date exactly? Just so we get some.
I want to say April 1st, maybe.
April 1st.
I think something ridiculous like that. Or was it the end of April? It was at some point in April.
Mate, I was June the 1st.
Yeah.
So I remember you dossing about in the library and just still used to come and chill with us because what else are you supposed to do? Everyone else is sitting in full work grind mode.
To be fair though, prior to that, when everyone else was kind of a bit more relaxed because maybe they weren't starting, I was grinding. I was at the library every single day. Literally get there. A lot of days I'd get there maybe between 10 and 12, leave 8, 9.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Like only because this is what I was saying earlier.
Okay.
Before you jump to conclusions, when I was like, when you mentioned, make sure you study and everything, and I went, don't hate me unis, but university, you do not need to study the whole time. If you want to obviously do the best possible, fair enough, and not kind of have the social aspects, fair enough. If that's you, that's you. If you want to have the social aspects where you make solid friends, like we have solid friends, and the networking,
friend for life,
exactly, the networking we've had is crazy.
Yeah, do you know what? And the thing is, side note, I don't know if it's because of the friends we associate ourselves with or the uni we went to, but every single one of our friends you can look at and say they're gonna do right for themselves. Like, do you know what I mean?
But yeah, anyway, in terms of that, we were going out loads and loads. I've lost my chain of thought. What was it? So it was about
not having to work.
About that. It was just the fact of you only have to work for maybe, I'd say, a total of a month and a half. This is to get like a 2-1.
Also, it does depend on what you're studying. How
it depends on what you're studying.
Because were you full coursework or did you have some exams?
So we had exams first year, but then they got cancelled.
Okay.
After that, I guess that makes it a bit different because I didn't have actual exams in the end.
Okay.
But in terms of assessments and what have you, you can grind for maybe 2 months total per year, and you'll pattern it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's different if you were doing something where it's a lot more maths related. You might have to put more extra hours in. But I think for the majority of the courses, probably say 90% of the courses.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I studied economics, and all of my third year was exam based. So I had 6 exams that totaled my whole thing. I mean, obviously we had.
You're lucky though.
Well, yeah.
I wish I had exams.
I mean,
I do so much better on exams.
I think I didn't really choose the modules to fit my strategic benefits. I'm not going to lie to you. So I did a lot better in second year, but they take the average and whatnot. But I do agree with you though. Like realistically, but you could tell the difference. So you know the ones that you saw in the library every single day. Yeah, they're the ones that walked out with the top marks. Yeah,
but then they're also the ones that didn't walk out with the social benefits.
Exactly. So it's almost like
and a lot of these. I don't want to hate on anyone or anything, but a lot of people, I learned it throughout school, I've learned it now. A lot of people, the ones that often just put everything into the work, don't socialise, don't do anything.
This is school work, by the way, not actual work.
Yeah. They'll go into their jobs and they could be next to someone else so you might have a first, perfect, everything. You're next to someone with a 2-1. They have the social skills and you realise you'd much rather work with this person with a 2-1 who has had the party life, who has lived life a lot better. So then it's about really weighing up whether which route is better. It's hard to explain because I don't want to be offensive to anyone, but I've just met a number of people who I wish I could give them a slice of me, for instance. I mean, there's plenty of people out. I'm joking. But yeah, just you see them, they're very uptight, just constantly as if their head's going at 1,000 miles per hour, just looking at numbers the whole time. Yeah. If they were to just have a bit of fun, I think it would be very beneficial to them. It's like when we went skiing.
I did skiing.
We went skiing with
looked very fun though. Looked great.
Crazy. Yeah. So we were in a room actually with a boy who I think he'd come there on his own, and he was very different to us. A lot more reserved at the time. You could tell, very hard-working individual.
Shout out to him for coming by himself though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's big.
Kind of similar to my roommate actually. Computer science. I saw my brother in him as well in terms of kind of a bit more introvert and what have you. He chilled with us, he partied with us, and by the end of it, it was crazy to see the way his social battery almost was completely charged. He was talking away, he was talking to random people, going up to random girls, and what have you. Like, I think if a number of people were to experience that, I think it would do them a lot of good.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of going back to how we really started. Like, even if you're not the most sociable person, really do make an effort to join a society or put yourself out there a little bit. Do you know another thing that I've been thinking about recently? You know how we said you get plopped into a random area that you don't know anyone? It's a chance to like reinvent yourself as well. Like there's probably so many people we met that if you ask them their sixth form friends and like their friends that they were in year 11 with and whatnot.
I think that's a weird / controversial topic though.
Why? What do you mean by that?
Because
I'd say I'm very similar to how I've always been.
Yeah, I would as well.
I've always been a fairly confident person.
I'd say I'm very similar to. I mean, I'm very similar, if not the same, as I was from like year 11 onwards.
Just immatured a little bit.
Especially
the way around.
What did you say again?
About having like a chance to reinvent yourself.
Oh yeah, but then it's almost like people then fake themselves.
No, it's not fake. I do get what you're trying to say.
They may fake themselves in a positive way in which it benefits them and it benefits the people around them. Like people might like them more like that, but then it's very hard, I think, because I've seen certain people from home doing that and what have you. Okay. And then when you actually see them go back and then back to the reality which they've lived for so long, you have two sides. You're gassed for them because they've completely changed. And look at them; they're doing so much better at uni. Yeah. At the same time, it's like Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah. Almost. You have this persona here and then a different persona over there. Yeah. I think it can catch up with you in life, definitely.
No, that's fair enough. I do.
But 100%. If you feel go to uni, reinvent yourself in this positive way, do it. Literally, you're going to be at uni for 3 years. You're going to be meeting new people, and there's a very high chance. I wouldn't say it's similar to me because I think I've got such a strong friendship group at home as well. But a lot of people aren't as close with people that they were mates with from home anymore. 100%. And instead they've got this friendship group at uni and they stay with them and this is almost their clique going onwards.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you like the aspect you're more coming off it though is like people faking what they are rather than like, I'm more talking in like changing a whole persona, like because as you mature, like as you get older, you mature and you slightly change in the way you behave and whatnot, and like your interests changed, like whereas some people stay the same, but they just kind of run with it. So that's what I meant. It's like it's a chance to try new things, should I say? Like everyone might know you as the class clown idiot, or they might know you as the really hard working, like almost class nerd. Whereas you can kind of flip the script a little bit for yourself, which kind of like that's all I meant by that.
Thing is, as much as I say this, I'd say I had a very similar situation to that, going from year 11, well, less so year 11, but kind of the year 11 summer to year 12. I went from year 11, obviously I had my group, and they're still my closest mates now, but I became mates with people outside of school, because respectfully, I didn't fuck with a lot of people from our school, because a lot of them were very two-faced, or they weren't very calm. A lot of them, I see them now, and I chat to them, and they're blessed. There's just a number of people, I just don't fuck with that. So then going from year 11 to year 12, hanging out with people outside of school and realising school isn't the whole world. There's so much more to it. There's so many more people, which a lot of people in school don't realise that. They think they've got their own little kingdom and that's it for the rest of their life. It's not the case. So then going from year 11 to year 12, I felt so much more confident coming into sixth form, knowing I had so many mates outside of school. And then I formed even more mates in school, I think, because of that as well.
Because of the confidence that you gained.
Yeah, because of the confidence, and because the people which I didn't really fuck with, they saw the people I was chilling with outside of school, and they were like, okay, they're fucking with him, he must be calm. Which I don't think they'd even acknowledged prior to that.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then they realise it, and now they're some of my closest mates now.
That's crazy.
So as much as some people might be like, oh, no, I don't trust them, they're fake mates. That's rubbish. Like, you can form a friendship with a group of people in a couple of months, and that'd be the strongest friendship ever.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I do relate to people, but yeah, don't fake it.
Yeah, no, yeah, fair enough.
Evolve, don't fake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So so going back to, we actually didn't even explain what the June situation was.
Junkie June.
Junkie June. Yeah.
Shout out Kwangu for coming up with Junkie June though.
Do you know what he makes?
Can we get Kwangu in the chat? No, I'm joking.
Can we? Yeah, like he comes up with some fucking good one.
It's always on that palace sofa.
Always.
Yeah, the one line is you'll chat to Kwangu for 5 minutes and he'll just reply,
yeah,
or hee hee.
He would come out with some, honestly.
Kwangu Jackson.
Honestly, for the 2 years that he lived there, they had some camera Big Brother shit set up in there. My God,
mate, that would have sold for millions.
We'd be like the Nelk Boys right now. It would be like
the stuff that happened in that house.
You know what I mean? It was
the things that can never be spoken about again. The situations in which enriched that house.
100%.
Yeah, I feel sorry for their next tenants though. They fucked their house.
Do you know what I heard?
What?
That the landlord, bearing in mind they lived there for 2 years.
I know this, yeah.
The landlord told them that they're not renting the house out next year,
just
so they
in
could
case.
come get they're re-renovating the whole house, just so they wouldn't sign with them. So the guy just basically to be fair, I don't blame him because.
Well, do I have news for you? So after speaking to a couple of the boys that live there,
yeah,
supposedly anyway. Obviously, don't quote me on this. I mean, it's not really relevant to most people, but to do with this, they've actually mentioned that they know the people living there now.
Okay.
So when all the players go back, the players you'll learn about too. When all the players go back to York,
yeah,
they're gonna host a big prees before going out,
okay,
which could go crazy. Like
100%.
We might be able to chuck in a clip of them throwing the TV off the roof.
Well,
Whose birthday? Oh, Rico's birthday.
Rico's birthday.
Yeah, like this. That was some. What's that?
Project X.
Project X. That was some Project X.
Yeah, we didn't have any. We didn't chuck anyone in the microwave. Not that I remember anyway.
Oh, the dwarf in the oven?
Yeah, that was it. Not a microwave.
Yeah.
Not fitting anyone in a fucking microwave. But
yeah, but there was some.
There was some.
That
crazy.
was a movie.
That was
house.
actually. It was really like that. So Junkie June. Let me actually just explain it now before.
Yeah.
We actually. No. Don't be silly. It's
Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
Apologise again. Junkie June was a whole month.
Yeah, it was a month.
It was a whole of. So from the day that I finished, June the 1st, I finished at about 1:30. I submitted my last exam. I was probably drunk or hungover every single day of June.
I don't remember not being sober for that month.
No, I went to bed. So I went to bed at 8 a.m. more times than I woke up at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Because we were just on a madness.
The amount of times I was walking down the university road, literally like one eye open, like struggling, stumbling.
Yeah.
Like shirt unbuttoned.
From them girls who, the law girls as we would call them, would always back at.
Oh, what, Liz and that.
Yeah, them girls. Yeah, we're always back at theirs after. I didn't even know them until the summer ball. And then I'd ended up at their house about every day
I remember
for about 2 weeks.
Now, we can't talk about that night, but there was a walk with me, you and Rico.
Yeah.
Walking back. The morning of my graduation. It was like 6 in. I was graduating.
It was later than that, mate.
Oh, right. So, like 6, anywhere
7,
between
8, or it was
right, imagine it's 7, 8. I have to be up at 12 to get ready for graduation.
I know, I linked you there as well. Yeah. We all, don't know how I pulled that off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I must have had the maddest bags under my eyes.
Man, you looked alright, to be fair.
Obviously,
fresh.
I was joking.
Oh,
yeah, that was a night. That was a night to remember. I do wish now going back that we'd have brought cameras out and recorded things.
It would have maybe taken away the authenticity, but going forward...
No, imagine almost a private investigator that could film the whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I reckon we've got at least... Actually, nah. I was going to say something, but we're not going to go into that. Explicit page one day.
Junkie June was a lot of... If we could remember them.
Junkie June.
A lot of memories.
I think Junkie June could go down in history. I think it has gone down in history.
You know, when we've all made it in life, hopefully...
relive Junkie June.
I was going to say make it... You know how you got the grown-ups where they all meet up in their house with their kids and that?
What's at the palace?
Oh, mate, we might as well chip in and fucking buy it.
That's what actually they mentioned. They mentioned the Palace, I don't know what you're thinking about it, but it's just a house.
Oh,
it's just a house where our boys live.
Yeah, but I mean, but a lot of memories were made there.
Yeah, 100%.
We might have to buy like that. The grown-ups want a bit sad, but
I think we should definitely relive it, because I think as well, all of us will have kids around the same age, and it would just be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but saying that though, we've still got a lot of good friends in York, so we'll definitely be heading back there. I reckon we'll end up going at least once a term, both of us.
Yeah, I think I'm planning on going to. They've got some races event, not racist races.
Horse racing.
Yeah. So I think that's that in a couple of weeks.
I don't think I'll be able to make that, but that the races when we went.
Yeah,
mate, you know, so I'm like I like a drink, but I like to drink.
See, I'm more reserved.
Cap, but I like to drink. When I drink, I like to get drunk, and I like to drink at.
Really?
No, but you know, some people like a casual drink. I don't really like casual drink. Yeah, if I'm drinking,
I feel like when I'm 40, I'll do that.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
I'm not 40. I'm half that.
Yeah, exactly. Good maths. But and also, if I drink, I like to have a nice,
have a fight,
productive day.
My bad. Sorry.
Productive day.
Don't want to buy out Kylie.
Productive day and go out and But there's a picture of me, you, and our good friend Ross having a full English breakfast with a pint at 9:30 a.m. or.
How do I not even remember this?
But it was before the so before 12 o'clock. I'd had 2 pints, a whole bottle of wine, and about 2 glasses.
Oh, what, the races?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my Lord,
you know,
that was.
I had a whole like.
Yeah, that was literally
12, before lunchtime.
Yeah.
Do you know
mad.
like. What
with Jack getting chased by security, hopping over fences?
Yeah, I don't even remember that. That was.
Yeah.
The races though, like the races, it starts early, finishes early. I remember calling my great granddad, because he sits. All he does really at the moment is sit and watches horse racing and betting. I remember calling him smashed out my head, and only time I ever really called him is if I'm picking him up or going to go see him or whatever. Hello, are you watching the races right now? He's like, no, are you okay? I was like, I'm at the York horse races. Put it on TV and tell me a bet. He's like, okay, I'll call you back. Poor guy's just.
See, I'm just not a betting man.
Yeah, no,
I won the first bet though, and then lost.
I lost all. To be fair, I only bought like £40 or £50. Like it wasn't bank breaking, and I lost every single penny of it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I must have lost like 40 quid.
Yeah, I mean.
And these times at uni, 40 quid's like a bag.
Yeah, that's 40 quid. That's taking you far, mate, isn't it? As if we're frugal living for our uni.
Yeah, but
frugal living.
But nah, yeah, the whole experience of Junkie June, I think, I could see that becoming a trend. Literally, if we'd had more footage or we put it all together and explained it, I could see people jumping on that.
Well, you say that though, like didn't you accidentally? I don't know if it was accidentally or by design. Start a little cult like following at university in York.
It was a combination of a load of us, and it was unintentionally. So we have a friend called Teddy. Now Teddy, Teddy's a well-off individual.
Yeah,
he's a well-off individual in which you wouldn't expect him to be kind of so stingy. But this is I'm not going to bait him out because that's incriminating.
Okay.
But he just does there's no victim in this situation, but he just does some stupid stuff. And because of that, we called in 4PE Teddy. Now, if you know about Lil Baby, you know about 4PF, 4 pockets full. Sadly, he's 4 pockets empty because he's just not the one when it comes to certain things. And then after that, we all start throwing up 4s like this. I kid you not, we'd go to the club and we'd look at the photos afterwards, look at random people. Everyone's throwing up 4s.
Yeah.
We're like, oh shit, this is kind of getting big in York. Then we're going out. Hence why we established the name of the players.
Our group was quite big as well, to be fair. Like we had quite a few.
It was the 4P players.
Yeah.
But I had 2 counts. Now I know this isn't like miles, or it's still miles away. So I remember once in Newcastle, a girl recognised me from 4. She was like 4. And then another time I was in Leeds, and we got on a train in Leeds. Got on the carriage. We were walking down, and I must have seen maybe 6 people at the end of the carriage. We were going like this. It's going like that to me, and I'm like, what?
Were they York students or?
I think they recognised us from the club. Okay. I didn't really go into details with them. I was like, oh, you know 4? And they were like, yeah, 4. What does it mean? And I was like, 4P. Didn't go into much more depth.
Got to keep the mystery up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think we left a mark on York with that 4 stuff. because it's so funny in terms of it's so funny because it's so stupid. Like there's literally almost no context to it other than
100%.
4 pockets empty. Like we're literally calling ourselves broke boys.
We're literally brokies.
Yeah, we're literally walking around getting gassed on the fact that we've got no money.
Yeah, I mean
everyone's got money, but
but at uni, you like. For most people anyway, like obviously there's some people who have an infinite money glitch, i.e. their parents. But you know,
shout out the Vita lot.
Obviously, like you do have to kind of be careful at uni, and uni can be very expensive, especially if you are trying to live a sociable life, like we said. Like
so expensive.
So like and it's it's weird going. I mean, obviously you told me about something the other day that happened that. You know, were you able to look after your mate now that you're working?
Yeah.
And it does bring an appreciation for things because I feel like, you know, nothing. You don't really appreciate good things unless you kind of had, not bad things, but you don't really appreciate
because we went through the trenches.
Sort of thing. Like as much fun
we
as
didn't really.
No, not at all. But do you know, like we're all fine, especially like.
Yeah,
we ever had any problems,
exactly.
We could always get money.
We all had backing to us, but it was the fact of we were promoting this idea that all of us were almost bums within society with this 4PE stuff, just getting gassed off it as well. Like being able to go into a club and get a randomers go up to you, go like that. It's as if you were a celebrity almost.
It's a bit embarrassing when you look back at all our club pictures.
So stupid.
We haven't got but I mean we haven't got a nice group picture.
You know, I went through my camera roll and all I could see was the outline of my hand doing a 4. Every single photo for literally scrolls after scrolls. I think it's sick though.
No,
I think it's a legacy in New York, and 100%. I think people that went to uni at the same time of us, as us, pardon.
Who will always the 4s up
they will always remember 4 though.
No, 100%. No, like it's something funny to talk about. Like even if them two encounters you had were the only 2 encounters any of us will ever have.
That's the closest thing I'll ever have to being a celebrity.
You never know, but. You never know, but you know, like that was a bit of a.
Well, if we do become celebrities, it's peak because then we're gonna have a little baby on our back. 4PF versus 4PE.
He can come.
Who's winning though? I'm saying the players are winning personally.
He can come for us, 100%.
Oh yeah, the players are winning.
But you don't think that TunedIn Podcast has got more backing than?
Well, the York players versus 4PF. No charges between us.
Yeah, that's right. We got a few thousand miles between us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. No, they're brokies. They can't afford to come.
Yeah, so 4PE.
Yeah, but
yeah, I think it's sick, and I tell my parents about it as well. Yeah. And bearing in mind, I don't know if you met my dad at my graduation. Like, my dad's
briefly, I said hello, but
very, very professional individual, which I'd never think would laugh about anything. I told him about 4PE. I even told my uncle. Like my uncle was dying. He was laughing so much. So I told my parents about it, and they just laughed because they found it funny, and they realised that how they built this kind of this almost full following.
Yeah.
Hence why on my graduation day, I got me and my parents throwing up 4s in one of our photos.
Remember I sat in your graduation as a spectator?
Huh? He was on his own looking sharp in his suit.
I had to support my boys.
Yeah.
I had to support my boys. I stayed up for
about 6 hours sleep between us.
Oh yeah, between us definitely. Yeah. I was probably egging you on to throw up before when you got on stage, but you kind of wanted to savour that moment. I think you're a bit of a pussy for that. But
yeah, I saw the light and I froze. I saw the dean and I saw the lady off the news that had a speech, and I was like, no, I can't do it.
So yeah, so like that was definitely the best period, as in one time to another time. But what do you think was your best moment as a student? You alright there?
Oh no, I brought this in case you annoy me.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I literally. What was my best period?
Yeah, what was your best period? No, your best moment.
My best moment, I'd have to say my final day of uni, driving home with my mum. Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't my final day because I had graduation later on. But your final day of uni, actually moving down, chatting to my mum. Mm-hmm. Not a single bit of sorrow or sadness knowing that I was leaving, but just almost a wholesome feeling of understanding where I've almost come in those 2 years, and just realising that I came to uni very optimistic and just whatever, but then finishing uni with such a crazy group and being in such a position where now I have friends all over the world, all over the UK.
It is crazy, isn't it?
And if I ever want to do any business or anything, I know for a fact I have someone to call for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for me.
That's great.
And I think I just want to be able to relive that feeling for the rest of my life.
So why the feeling of
and the feeling of feeling accomplished with what you've done. And even if there's no results, I had a result, I had a good grade. But more just about the people you meet. The people you meet, probably the most important thing.
Yeah, like that is like that saying. Oh, it's cliche, but you see it a lot. Like your network is your net worth. Mm-hmm. Like especially with the kind of projects.
I've never actually heard that, but that's hard.
Have you not? No.
I have to put it as my Insta bio.
100%. But no, honestly, like your network is your net worth and also who you know is who you know, not what you know. Obviously,
100%.
Them kind of things get you kind of in the door or in front of the person you speak to. Of course, it then takes your skill to kind of close that deal or sell yourself in whatever way possible. But we've been able to do this. Like, I've got a great friend behind the camera that I made friends with when I joined.
Shout out Warren, man.
Yeah, shout out Warren, man. For like, he's really helping with everything in the background. But I met Warren through when I moved school when I joined my new sixth form. We clicked straight away. But like any project I need now, helping with this kind of stuff. I've got someone like you said. Like I said, I've got a friend in Egypt, got friends in Geneva. Got friends in Africa. I
think Dubai is probably the coolest one.
I mean, especially
like you hear like Chris's contacts and friends. And
exactly.
That is crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
And realistically, now that we're getting money, we've got all that to look forward to.
100%.
Hopefully we can bring this podcast with us as well.
Hopefully some special episodes.
Like if this has a little bit of success, or even if it doesn't have success, and we just enjoy it, as I've very much so enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I think going forward, I'd happily do it all over the place with all these different people.
100%. Yeah, I'd say my best moment.
Oh, of course, yes. Sorry.
No, that's right. Don't be silly. I don't want to.
I think I know what this is. To be fair, I don't really have to ask.
I've had to bring up myself. It's a bit embarrassing. Really.
Get a grip.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. But as I mentioned earlier, I joined the boxing society, boxing club. So and
that's a wrap. Yeah. Shit. No, I'm joking.
No. Yeah, so I joined the boxing club. Obviously, the lockdown stuff prevented me because I wanted to have I had my first fight in March of this year. I wanted to have a few. But
might be able to chuck in a couple of clips from that actually.
Yeah, hopefully we'll definitely chuck some stuff in. But the support I had, nuts.
Bro, I remember I lost my voice.
Nuts, like. There wasn't like a crazy amount of people that like the whole event. I mean, actually, how many people would you say?
For a uni boxing event, you had all your boys. You had boys coming up to see.
No, but as in, like, how many people do you think were at the whole event? A couple hundred?
Few hundred, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well,
like there was rows behind the.
Yeah. Okay. But I was gonna like
all screaming for the opponent. Karen?
Yeah. No, but being on home turf.
Yeah.
Shout out to my opponent as well. Like, proper gent afterwards.
You got smoked though.
I mean, listen.
Respectfully, you did get smoked, but to be fair, great sportsmanship.
No,
but you got smoked.
Yeah, 100. No, great sportsmanship. Shout out to him.
That was sick though. Wasn't it the only knockout of the night?
No, it was two. That was two.
I think everyone missed the first fight, didn't they?
Well, yeah, because everyone was too busy preying, which is understandable. But mate, it was literally like
shout out to that guy as well. But
Eric's
all of us hearing about this and the hype building up, just for him to then go drop the opponent.
Yeah,
that right there couldn't be matched. Obviously, different feeling for you, but then all of us dressed up in suits, pretty drunk.
Yeah, well, extremely.
And then afterwards, the after party as well.
Crazy, like. So you worked at Slug and Lettuce for
bartender for
like a year or
9 months.
So you managed to pattern us.
I had to pattern my boy Kai.
Yeah. So you got the private like there's a private events from there.
Yeah.
And you spoke to the manager and whatnot. And my dad come down. He come and supported me and. He was like, I'll come for one drink, obviously. I'll come support you and your mates and whatnot. And then a big cocktail tree walks in and it's about 6 or 7 bottles of sparklers afterwards. And
not bottles of sparklers, like bottles and sparklers.
With sparklers. And this is York.
This isn't a fireworks show.
Yeah, this is not like some London clubs, like you don't really get stuff like that in York. And I'm thinking, fair play, Dad. Like, didn't have to go out and spend that. I went over to him, I was like, Dad, you didn't have to do that. He went, what do you mean, mate? I only got Harry a cocktail. I was like, oh, what's all that then? And then your manager or ex-manager or whatever just brought it all in for us. I mean, clever business by them.
This goes back to who you know, not what you know.
100%. Like, and it was really like obviously that was a big part of it. But 3 months of no drinking and training hard, which
I'm sure it did you well though.
Nah, mate, it was really good. Like,
I could probably do with that.
I mean, but I think drinking's a weird one. Like, drinking is very bad for your body, but it's also very good for your social life.
It's about weighing it up. It's about weighing it up.
Yeah, exactly. Going out and enjoying stuff, but
real.
That was definitely it. But
I think this is a nice introductory episode.
Yeah,
kind of got to know us. Obviously, it's not always going to be about us. Or it's probably not most of the time.
With you, it probably is going to be. To be fair.
Yeah, cool. Anything else? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
No, I'm literally joking.
Yeah.
Are you really gonna leave me hanging? No.
Not falling for that one
Well,
again.
No, but I think it's been a nice introductory episode.
100%.
I think you've got to know us. I hope we haven't said anything too mad that's going to stop us getting jobs in future.
Yeah.
Joking.
We've got a few more episodes for that, don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully, it's in the short term. Hopefully, we can get some cool people on.
Definitely, yeah, 100%.
Cool perspectives, cool stories.
Yeah, we don't want to say how often this will come out just yet because we're still working out logistics. But we're definitely it's definitely going to be a regular thing.
This is only the beginning.
Definitely, and
this is both of us. Well, this is our first ever podcast.
Mate, this is the first time I've spoken.
This is my first time behind a camera.
Yeah.
Apart from my fucking hot Instagram post.
Shout out. Go and plug the handle, you might as well now.
No, I'm joking. It will be attached below. Or on our Instagram. TunedIn Podcast divided by dots.
Yeah, that was a weird way of saying it, but it's a TunedIn.podcast.
Yeah, mine flows more, but that just describes our
But follow us, more to come. Hopefully it wasn't too awkward on our end. And also, I messed up a little bit and I forgot the proper stand for our cameras. I had to drive here and pick you up. So I had 2 or 3 jobs. But
I do drive, innit? Just my car's in the factory.
Yeah.
Something like that.
BMW's in a repair shop.
Yeah, I can't remember where I put it one night.
But well, hopefully everything sounds good. We look good.
Yeah. Well,
and
fingers crossed this gets saved and it doesn't crop the file and we've wasted this time. But
did I plug it in? I don't think it's been recording this whole time.
No, is it tuned in?
Oh, damn. So yeah.
No, that was called nope.
Yeah. Tune in for the TunedIn Podcast. We hope you lot enjoyed our first episode of us rambling on.
Yes. I've been Aidan Uttley.
I've been Kaiyan Kaiyan Ali.
Now we hold hands. This has been the TunedIn Podcast.
TunedIn Podcast. Love everyone. Shout out 4P.
Yeah.